Our brands. So our brands is the homepage. We're going to have this title. We're going to have this opening text. And then there's a link to our story. So our homepage right now has a title, which we can copy in. Has the intro text. We can copy this in. And this main image, which is this background image, which we can grab that. Okay, save. So this is this opener. We also have this get is the know better button. And then after that, we're going to have this loop of products, which we're going to make in a separate content model. So let's first create a link text and a link ability to link this up to something in schema. So you could just click on item schema here to jump into the home page. There's lead and title, intro text, main image. So we got that covered. We're going to add intro button text. It's very simple. Then we'll create intro button link. And we can make this an internal link, which Zesty will give you a drop down to manage so it can't break essentially. Alright, so we're going to jump back into content, click onto homepage. We're going to grab our button text here, which this button is an image, so we're going to do them one better. We're going to create a real button text. Get to know us better. And then the internal link is going to be become a retailer, contact us. It's going to go to our story page we haven't created yet, so let's just use become a retailer for testing. So if we look at the Zesty homepage, it's not going to be tied up to anything. It's going to just have this, which we don't really want. So we're going to, again, view source on this. And we're going to copy what was in this main container all the way down before the footer opens, right there. We're going to jump into our code editor. So now we have our home page. We're going to wipe this whole thing, paste in, and clean up the code we grabbed. So this title, this is weird because it's kind of a WYSIWYG because it's got some information in it that has like bold tags and whatnot. Really, this whole thing probably could just be a WYSIWYG. So that's what I'm going to do with it. I'm just going to essentially make this whole thing the WYSIWYG, which we called content on the home page. So for the link here, this is something you probably haven't seen yet. We're going to call it something called truepath. And inside you need a ZUID. So we can go to this dot intro button link. That's going to give us the ZUID to the internal reference. And we don't need an image here anymore because we're actually going to make this button look like that image. So what we need in here is going to be the intro button text. And let's just style it. I'm just going to guess what it looks like. I'm going to give it padding of like top, bottom, 10 pixels, 20 pixels, left, right. Background orange. Display. Block. And color of the text is going to be white. Let's see how that turns out. So there's our giant button now. And you can see like the WYSIWYG didn't pick this up perfectly, so we'll have to do some editing here. Let's jump into content. And I copied this, so I'm going to jump into HTML and just paste in the HTML I copied from the original site. Let's refresh this. And now it's looking like the current site, a little bit better. And we can make this button a little bit more buttony. So let's just do that. I'm doing a direct style for now. I'm actually going to pull this out, give this a class called home page button. And then I'm going to start using my CSS over here, home page button, paste these guys in, clean this up. Save, refresh. Okay, home page button's starting to work. So now we can do, we're using less, so we can do, and on hover, color dark orange. I don't know if that's even a thing. I want to add a border radius on this, 5 pixels, and we'll make it max width 300 pixels, 400 pixels, and text align center, pretty much mimicking somewhat close of what a button should be. And we're going to change the background color to dark orange, not the color. Cool. Now we have a better button, and we'll make the color white on hover and text decoration none, so we don't get that weird underline. Okay, so now we have a little bit better of a button, and you'll see that we have the products down here that came in. So we want to make this an each loop with Zesty. So we're going to do that. Because right now these are all hard-coded in, but this is dynamic. At this point we can publish all our files, something you do regularly when you're doing a build, because at the end of it you're going to have to publish all the content you enter and all the files you've created. Alright, so we're going to create, these don't have individual pages on their website, so we don't need an individual view for them. Technically we could create a headless content model, but I don't know if that's going to happen in the future, so I'm just going to, like, ahead of time create a group review. Nothing will link to it, but I could create it for the time being. I'm going to call this products, and I can actually give it, it could have a top level page, but there is no, the home page is this page. So I create, so each product is going to have a logo, which is an image, right? It's going to have a description, which we're going to make a WYSIWYG, and it's going to have a product image, which is an image. And if you remember on the site, it had a link that is just literally, that's just an image that says explore products. So we could make that like we did before, like give it an image button title, and we're gonna do a button URL because they're sending you away here. They're not doing an internal link, so we could just make that URL. So add there. We also have this gradient going on, and each one has a different color. So we can select color here and just call it gradient color. Okay, so now we have a content model for products, and we're going to go populate that by hand. Products, nothing here. Logo, let's select our first one. So we put logos in this convenient thing here, and the first product's Simply Slender. And we're going to copy this for our description. And there's a product image, and it looks like this orange juice stuff. And the button title is going to be Explore Products, and the URL is going to be this button URL. So let's select what our gradient color is going to be. This really nice lemony color here. I'm going to dig in to find what it is in the HTML. It's right here. So we're going to have this color picker. I don't know if we can actually edit this directly, so we're just going to go with something lemony. You can actually just color pick right from here, which is kind of cool. And I'm good with that. So I'm going to create new item. Great. I have my first item. So then we're going to add gentle cure. Gentle care. So select the logo. Logos. Gentle care. Select product image. Baby right. And paste this in. Untitled explore. Products. On URL is going to be gentle baby care. And the color is going to be this pink. Okay, so we have two. We have gentle care. It's got this pink. It's meta here. Gentle care. And I'm going to jump into the schema and I'm going to add a product title. Even though it's not showing here, we want to use it for like assistant readers and alt tags. So let's go in the schema, click into products, and we're just going to call this product name. Add to set. Alright, jump in and let's go add. So this product name should be gentle care. The bug we ran into is just using the same information before, so let's not have that happen. And this one's simply slender. Save. I could publish each of these now because we're good to go. Products, gentle care, publish. That concludes part 4. We now have everything set up to loop through a content model with multiple items. So tune in to part 5 for that. There'll be a little bit more coding there with Parsley.